one of the big things I'm doing this year differently is I'm not prepping for a full, at least in the first half of the season, possibly one over the summer, but the intention is to just prep for the first full to be Kona, unless something changes between now and then. I've done every season before, I've done an April or May Ironman, and it's time to change things up a little bit. I've peaked too early in the season. I haven't raced well in September and October, and that's when everything matters this year. It's August, September, October with the Collins Cup, 70.3 Worlds, and Kona. So I'm doing things a little bit different. I'm trying not to get too fit too fast, and going into some of these races knowing I'm not at 1,000% fitness, but still wanting to throw down the best possible effort that I can on the day. And it's a little bit of a different mindset and a harder mindset to be, especially when you're racing these guys, who are always going to have a great day. You don't see Lionel having a bad day. You don't see Sam. You don't see, any of those guys having bad days very often. And to beat them, you have to be in peak shape. And so it takes a little bit of an ego check to go into these races, knowing that everything that I'm doing, I'm trying to put the eggs in the basket and just continue to build into Kona, into 70.3 Worlds, and into the Collins Cup, rather than be at 100% now and then try to maintain that fitness level for so long. I'm going to be 36 in a few weeks or a few days now. I can't do that anymore. I can't hold that fitness as long as I used to be able to. And so just changing things up, trying to learn from the past and things that didn't work well. And, I've got to have a good day at the World Championships in order to keep progressing and to keep going towards my goals. And so taking a bit of a risk this year. Obviously I've in the past I've made the bulk of my financial success early in the season, and so it's a risk to push that off and to kick the can down the road. But the performance at Daytona and the payday at Daytona kind of allowed me to take that risk this year, to be completely frank. So that's the logic to not starting the year out with the full, and I'm enjoying it. I've never specifically prepped for 70.3s, and so that's what this block is about. So with a race like St. George, where there's just a huge field, it's really hard to key off of one person or to build a game plan off of one or two or three people. Like a race like Galveston, it was a lot different because it was a little bit of a smaller field, at least talent-wise. And so, you knew who the guys who were going to be up front were. And, with me being a runner, I knew, kind of a window of I needed to be this close to, the Lionels, the Sams, the skipper, like the guys who can ride really well. Andreas, those guys that were at the last couple races, I knew how close I needed to be to them. When there's this many talented guys in the field like St. George, it's a lot harder to do that. And I almost go away from building a race plan off of specific individuals, just because you don't know what's going to happen. Maybe with the swim, it might be harder to get away. It might be a big long line rather than having a bunch of packs, just because there's more talent to kind of fill the gaps and keep everybody closer together. Might do the same type of thing on the bike. So people are probably going to be able to run a little bit better than they normally would, because there's going to be much bigger groups, so they'll be a little bit fresher getting off. So it just changes the game. So it's really hard to plan for a specific or around a couple individuals. And I do better for myself when I'm really focused on what I'm doing, what I'm needing. Like when I had a decent day in Daytona, I really, when Sam and Lionel went by me, it was very tempting to go with them. I could have gone with them for a little bit. I couldn't ride as hard as they did on the day, or shouldn't have. I wouldn't have ran well. But I was really just focused on executing the game plan that I had on the day, and that was my kind of key to being able to run well. When in a race like St. George, where we're going to be at a lot higher speeds at a lot of the time, that changes a little bit, because you get punished. At the riding legal uphill, there's really no benefit. Riding legal downhill or in false flats or with tailwind, when the speeds are really high, there's a huge benefit to being at that 12 meters. And there'll be plenty of guys pushing the limits and trying to get as close to 10 or 8 as they can, and hopefully the officials are doing a good job out there. But the bigger the race, the more like those types of factors come into play, and so it's just going to change it. Coach Julie and Coach Matt will have a good plan for me, and their job is to help me set the plan, and mine is to execute and listen to the body on race day. And then I always kind of say it's everything is setting up the day for the run, and the last 10K is about how hard you want it and how much you're willing to run with your heart. So using your head up to that part, and then let the heart take over, and hopefully that's enough.
Thank you for waiting. At this time, we're going to have passengers seated in medium economy. Upper class is flying from gold on the left-hand side of gates A11. Once again, for medium economy, upper class is flying from gold on the left-hand side of gate A11. We also invite passengers who are seated on the upper deck, row number 70.
You did? How are you?
Doing all right.
Good.
Did they just let you off on the tarmac?
Yeah, pretty much.
Very nice, man.
It's not the smallest airport I've been to, but definitely one of them.
Good deal, good deal. A little earlier than you're supposed to be.
Yeah, we landed 15 minutes early, which never sucks.
No, not at all.
It's usually the opposite, so must have had a tailwind. Yeah, so just landed here around 10 o'clock in the morning on Thursday today? Thursday. So 2 days before the race. Go straight to the swim, get a swim in. Travel today was pretty uneventful. Had a direct flight, which is always great. Met with Coach Purvis, my strength coach, this morning, right at 5 o'clock. He had to stay in town for something else anyway, so we met up, did a couple things quick just to hopefully help keep my back settled down and feel a little bit better going into travel, and gave me a to-do list for as soon as I get to the place we're staying at this afternoon as well. But yeah, direct flight from Denver to St. George. Coach Julie drove my bike out, which is great. So I should be able to collect that here this afternoon. I would have drove as well, except I've got to fly to North Carolina on Sunday morning for an event. I've never been here before. It's, from what I understand, we're like 3,500 feet, give or take, and so the altitude shouldn't be a factor, but there's definitely some mountains around here, so definitely the most elevation gain on both the bike and the run that I've done in a race before. And as you've seen, this will be my third race in 4 weeks, so you never really know what to expect out of the body leading into that fourth race. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not so great, but I think I'm in a good place overall. Number one goal is to scout out the course and see how I need to adapt my training, or if I need to adapt my training specifically for the course leading into the World Championships here in September. So that's kind of the primary purpose I'm here. Obviously, everybody seems to be here right now. Got a ton of people coming from overseas, and almost all of the guys from North America who are ranked highly are here as well. So it's just another opportunity to face off against the best in the sport and see where things are at. So just got to the Airbnb here. It's definitely an upgrade over what I stayed at in Haines City, if you saw that in that last video. But yeah, flew in, got the swim done. Just a nice, easy 25-minute swim, just to get the body used to that 59-degree water. Pushing it a little bit for a 500-ish in the middle, but otherwise just really a nice and chill swim. And then we just found some relatively flat for, I guess, St. George. There wasn't a flat step on it, but it was relatively flat. Bit of pavement where I could do about 35 minutes with some 1-minute efforts at race pace or a little bit above. Again, just to open up the body, kind of shake the travel out of the body, and just all good vibes leading into race weekend. Yeah, today is really just getting the body moving, I'll do some mobility here in a bit, just to try to get the travel out, make sure the body's moving well. Then I'll get some food, maybe a nap, probably not, but maybe. And then, yeah, tomorrow is just tick the boxes, make sure that, I'll go through a swim, bike, and run. I'll probably swim the whole course if it's set up, and then do some openers on the bike, and then just a nice chill 15-minute run off after that, and then get bike checked in, then just feed up and get ready for race day.